All right, what's up, guys? So what we just did here was I went into HP Tuners here on the Monte Carlo and I adjusted a few things, some of them being like the evap controls and whatnot, because we don't need the evap controls, and it always had a check engine light because it was like there was like a small leak or something going on. So I disabled that, and then if you guys also know, whenever it would be in park and neutral, the rev limiter was always set to about like 4,000 RPMs, and it would I think with like fuel cut or other I don't know, timing cut, spark cut, whatever, I don't know, but it would only rev to 4 grand, and that's what the like noise was when it would come down from that, because it's revving up and then the ECU is like no more, so it like pretty much just cuts it off right there and then it falls back down. So what I did is I went in and I adjusted park and neutral revving. Let me see if I can just show you guys. So I came in here, it's not hooked up right now, but I can still show you guys. So fuel there. So I changed it in gear, if you guys see right here. Before, these two right here, neutral and park, before those were set at 4,000 and everything else, oh shit, everything else was the same, right? First gear, all that was all 6,100 RPM. I changed neutral revving to 5,500 and park revving to 6 grand. I don't know, I could have set them both 6 grand, but yeah, I just wanted to see what it did first. Then I went to go extract or whatever, right vehicle, and dummy me, I forgot that, well, I was doing this for probably like, you know, half an hour, just messing with the stuff in it, and I forgot that the ignition was on the whole time, so I'm pretty sure the battery died, or it was low. It was too low to actually turn itself over. Totally forgot about that, but I thought there was something wrong with it. I'm like, shit. So I re-uploaded the stock tune file back to see what would happen. It was still doing it. I'm like, shit. But it never dawned on me the fact that the battery might have been damn near dead and it couldn't actually turn it over. So we're gonna hope that that is the case. So I'm gonna prop you guys up in the back and we're gonna see what it does. Oh boy, I think it worked, because if you guys remember, it had a check engine light before for the evaporator, and also the crankshaft position sensor was now the camshaft position sensor was out of sync with the crankshaft position sensor, and that pretty much made it freak out, think it was misfiring because of the cam in it. We did the relearn procedure on that like 3 weeks ago. It worked, obviously, because it's not back yet, and I went into the laptop and disabled all the evaporator shit. So it would make perfect sense that there's no check engine light anymore. Give it a little rev here. You know what, we'll take it around the block. We'll let it get all warmed up before we do anything, because it's not warmed up yet, and I don't have the head strap for the GoPro, so we're just gonna have to rock me holding it. I didn't change anything else with it, so this is also just to make sure everything else is okay and sound. All I did was change a few things. Main thing was the evaporator. I disabled all of the evap shit because, like I said, there was a small leak somewhere, I don't know where. I'm familiar with the evaporator, all the different parts of the evap system, like the charcoal canister and all the lines and the vent lines and different pressures, so that the hydrocarbons in the fuel tank don't escape and that they get recycled and put into the engine and all that stuff. There's a lot of stuff that can go wrong with those emission systems, especially when you consider the car itself is about, like, this car is 2006, so you're talking 18 years old. Some of that stuff is gonna go bad. I don't really see the need to have it. I wasn't gonna dig into it, so. It seems to do everything else sounds just fine. The check engine light has not come back yet, so all the evaporator stuff has been taken care of, it seems. Thank God. The whole time I've had this car, it's always had an evap code. And I was always like, oh, I'll fix it. I never got around to it. And ever since we did the crank relearn procedure, it felt like the car picked up a little bit of power. And that's solely because, and I mean, it makes perfect sense now when you think about it, it picked up more power because, well, the computer wasn't thinking, oh, we're misfiring, let's cut timing, or, you know, not full advanced when it's asking for full advanced. And, you know, it could be a multitude of things, but that's just part of it. It's not having to cut it anymore because it now knows the relation of the cam and crank sensors. Be like, okay, we are good. And now the evaporator thing's going, because there was always two check engine lights. One of them would always be the evaporator, and the other one was the random misfire detection. Obviously, it's not a certain cylinder because it's thinks they're all misfiring because the cam out of time, it thinks, but it doesn't know that there's a different camshaft in it. So yeah, it is what it is. I just thought about something on top of that, guys, too. So the Monte Carlo does have remote start, but I was never able to use it simply because if the check engine light is triggered, it disables any ability to use the remote start feature. And now that there's no check engine light, I can use remote start. I know it's little things. I never drive it in any bad weather, so there's no reason to. But what if I want to hear it, damn it? What if I want to hear the cold start? Because I always had to sit in here and I just hold the camera back there and have you guys watch it. I also went in HP Tuners, and there's a lot of things you can do in there, obviously. It did cost me like 2 credits, but whatever. Also, you can go into literally anything, right? So you can go into like engine management, all the stuff, everything you could possibly imagine. You can disable its ability to have the ability to activate check engine light, or you know, MIL, whatever you want to call it. That's sick because, well, with like old stuff like this, you know shit's broken on it. You're not gonna fix it, so it's like, You know, I'm gonna park right here for a second. I just want to see if it revs in park all the way up to what I told it to. Oh, yes, it does. And then neutral should be a little bit lower. Neutral should be 5,500. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, it worked. Yes, it works. Okay. It crackles more. That kind of sucks. But it revs higher, so it sounds cooler. Oh shit. We got a big old pick 'em up truck coming down the road. How about you do, boy? God, guys kicking up boulders pretty much. Oh. Once I get home, guys, I will put the camera behind the car and I'll actually show you guys what it sounds like. It sounded pretty different. We'll just say that. It still cuts, you know, like it used to. Where it goes like, but it cuts at a higher RPM. So like I said, instead of 4 grand, we'll just say park for reference, because the only time you rev it neutral is if you're like coasting and you see somebody and you rev at them or whatever, but usually it's in park. We're talking 5,500. Did I do 55? No, I did 6 grand. 6 grand in park. No, I'll catch you guys up and we'll see what we think of it. There's a bunch of stuff I can do. So I'll pick you guys up when we get back to the house, and then we'll get some little rev shots real quick and see how she sounds. That's probably gonna conclude today's video. It sounds different. We'll say that. We can still modify some stuff here and there, so I might dive back into it and see what else we can change to it. But as of right now, that's gonna be all for today's video, guys. It's kind of a short one, but you know, thought it was worthy enough because of that thing, this issue that's had in the past. So thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos coming over the channel. Stay tuned for more videos coming over the Monte Carlo. Obviously, we have a lot more work to do here, and that's not even considering the mods I want to do to it eventually here. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one.